This is the Spins Vinyl Network.
You wanted the best. You got the best.
Spins Vinyl, the vinyl leader.
Yo, yo, what is shaking, everybody? Welcome back to the Spins Vinyl channel. We are here, episode 2, basically, of the Spins Vinyl show, the daily Spins Vinyl show. So let me catch you up. If you weren't here yesterday when I announced this, we're going to a daily format here. So this week, let me just break down for this week. I'll get you the times. We're going to go live. It's going to be different just one day of the week. So let me break this down. Yesterday, we went live with Chris, the Groove Seeker, who is here. Thanks, Chris, for hanging out. And we talked about Record Store Day. So you can check out that video. That is up on YouTube now. And then tonight is a really special one because we're going to talk all jazz today, first of all. So I'm going to give you an hour of jazz and we'll do some back and forth on that. And then at the top of the hour, precisely 59 minutes from this very moment, Felipe from the Jazz Bumps is going to be here. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to get to pick his brain a little bit. Find out, get some history around the Jazz Bums YouTube channel on the Discord and just, learn some things about Felipe. So that'll be fun. And then we'll wrap up with Felipe with a little game. We like games here at Spins Vinyl. And it's going to be a little bit of this or that Classic Series Edition, 2025 Classic Series Edition. So that's what you have to look forward to tonight. Tomorrow night, same time, 8 p.m. Central. We got Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame, the Hall of Famer himself from YouTube. The old school, you know him, you love him. We're going to do, I don't know how else to say it. It's going to be a co-room tour, a live co-room tour. We're both going to show the rooms. You're going to get to see his, it's kind of embarrassing actually that we're going up. It's kind of like David and Goliath in a way because he's got just a massive killer collection that he's going to show. You're going to get to see the wall records. You're going to get to see how everything is sorted. You're going to get to see the stereo and all of that stuff. And we're just going to walk you around in real time. And he's going to do his room. I'll do mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours, kind of a thing. And you guys will be there for it, and you'll be able to ask questions in real time. And just you see a record you want more information about, you want to see something in more detail. Just shout it out and we'll get it done for you. So that's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. That's going to be super fun. Thursday is Surface Noise, the B-side. You guys are well aware. We do the B-side every other week. Chance does the A-side. So we'll be on the B-side this Thursday. You're going to have me, Chris, some combination of Jose and Jason Rojas and Arnaldo and Bianco and all those guys. So that'll be super fun too. Some fun. In fact, the topic of that one's going to be pop music. So we're going to get into that. That'll be super fun. And of course, there's a game that day as well. Friday, we're going to wrap up the week here. Friday's the only day it's a little bit different. So we go 8 p.m. Central every day of the week, except for Friday, which Friday we go live 6 p.m. The reason being is that Jazz Bums are going to come up at 7 p.m. Central. So they go up 8 p.m. Eastern on their live stream. What's up, David? Happy Tuesday. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. But what's super cool about this is we're going to talk jazz. We're talking jazz today because Felipe is going to be here. And so we want to lube you guys up so we can get into some jazz talk. Friday, we're doing jazz and pretty much probably do an hour of jazz every Friday. And that way we can take you right up to Jazz Bums when they go live. But here's the thing. You don't have to worry about, how am I got to make sure I, leave Jason's stream in order to get over to jazz. You don't have to worry about it. We are going to take you right into the Jazz Bums. All you got to do is stick with us. And when we sign off here, you'll automatically go straight into the Jazz Bums. So that is hella cool. So look forward to that. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. And so that's the week. Next week, future guests we're going to have. Chance is going to be on here. We're going to do Arnaldo will be on here. Jason Rojas will be here. So we'll start with our friends. But of course, we're going to branch out and we'll who knows what the future holds. We already have some things sort of cooking. So I think we'll do some fun things. All right. So that's the story. Yeah, we're going live daily this time. So great time to subscribe. Great time to hit that notification bell. If you are friends of the channel and you guys come here and hang out with us, we see a lot of familiar names here every time we go live. Help us out by leaving a comment, liking the stream and stuff like that. That's going to help get things percolating for YouTube so that, they know that we can at least pretend that we have quality content over here and try to get some more, some more feet in the door. So that would be great. So appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's do, I want to do a little thing. We got birthdays. So just two that came up, musicians, artists that have birthdays today. Gene Vincent, 1935, he was born. American rock guitarist. Of course, you know him from Bebop-A-Lula. And then Bobby Boris Pickett. How many people remember Bobby Boris Pickett? The song, I kind of want to let it go and let you guys tell me if you know what it is. Don't look it up. But I'll just tell you. The Monster Mash. So Bobby Boris Pickett wrote and performed Monster Mash, if you guys remember that tune. So that song comes up every holiday, right? Every Halloween. Carlos, what's up, baby? Thanks for being here, man. So to get into the content, we'll break into some stuff before we're going to meet with Felipe. By the way, don't go anywhere. Felipe will be here in less than an hour from the Jazz Mums. Let's get you lubed up with some jazz. And Chris and I, the Groove Seeker, who may be in the house. What's up, OJCs? We did a show in November when they released the Tone Poet and the Tone Poet Society subscription and all that stuff. We did that list, and that was a great show. We never got to the classic series. So what I want to do today, since we're full in, the first month has come out, February releases are the 21st of this month, is to kind of touch on that a little bit, and we'll get Felipe's thoughts too, among other things, when he gets here. But let's talk a little bit about the classic series. And I have some records I want to show, for some of the 24 albums that are going to be released in the classic series this year. I pulled out 5 that, I already have. I won't be picking them up on classic, but I figured I could talk about them. And then we'll get, we're gonna revisit that topic after we talk to Felipe and pick his brain a little bit. So January has been released. January we got. Let me just put this up on screen. Actually, that'll be helpful. Do a little presentation. How is everybody doing, man? I appreciate you guys being here today. Again, this is just the second Spins Vinyl show that we're doing. Kind of official. We are going to a daily format. So let me bring this up. Here we go. Classic vinyl series. Boom. There it is. Let's see if I can get that. Yeah. So for, I think for jazz lovers, you guys know, we've been getting for a few years now, the classic series, which came out of the 75th and the 80th and all that stuff. And then we got classic. And then they did their Tone Poet product a few years ago, which the Tone Poet stuff is supposed to be maybe sleepers, a little bit deeper cuts. They get the gatefold sleeves and session photos and all that stuff. And they're a little pricier product. Blue Note also does the classic series. Classic series is supposed to be the records that we all know and love, right? These are the big titles that if you're into jazz, you're familiar with. January 17th, they released the first 2. We got 1960s Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Like Someone in Love. And we got the 62 recording of Freddie Hubbard's Here to Stay. So I don't know. Maybe Chris can speak on those. I didn't pick those up, but we're going to also, it's a little silly maybe to go over this whole list now because we're going to go over this with Felipe later. But the point is just to kind of tee this up and show you some of the records that I have. So let's just jump straight to that. So Sonny Rollins, Volume 1, 1956. This is a fantastic record. This one's coming out on the 21st of this month. And let me see if there's another way to do this because I'm tiny. Probably not. That's okay. I'm not going to show you the list. You're going to see it later. But yeah, Sonny Rollins Volume 1. This record, let's see, give you some details on this. First of all, I love Sonny, man. I love Sonny Rollins. It always goes back and forth for me between Coltrane and Rollins. It's hard to pick anybody over Coltrane, but it depends on my mood, man. It's like sometimes I got to hear some Sonny. What I love about Sonny is when he's at his best, his technique is fire. His technique is so good. If you know Sonny, you know what I mean. He's just got a way of playing notes in just the right way. They don't seem like they should go. They're Sonny notes. No one else plays them like him. This is coming out again on the 21st of this month. So you're going to have a chance to pick up volume 1. This was recorded in December 1956. And of course, in Hackensack, Rudy Van Gelder engineered this. It was released in March 1957. 5 long tracks, especially side B. You guys been here before. I love it. Plain Jane is a 10-minute tune. Sunny Sphere is about 9.5 minutes. Fantastic. So this is cool, man. This is really self-titled. I guess later it kind of got the moniker Volume 1. There's also a Volume 2 right here that we have not got a classic series. Maybe we'll get this one next year. But this is a great album with great art. I think everyone's familiar with. I don't know, man. If I had to lean into it, maybe Volume 2 is my go-to, but this is a fantastic one too. What a lineup. So Sonny Rollins, of course, on tenor. Donald Byrd is on trumpet on here. Wynton Kelly on piano. Gene Ramey on bass, and Max Roach on drums. So look forward to that, man. If you guys like to pick this stuff up out of the classic series, which I highly recommend, man. This stuff sounds fantastic for the price point. And not only do these come out around $30, but do what I do. Pick these up on Amazon a little later, kind of a pro tip. And you can pick this stuff up for fairly cheap oftentimes. So that's coming out February. So again, I love Rollins. I'm glad they're doing a Sonny Rollins record. I'm glad they're doing Volume 1. And hopefully that bodes well for Volume 2, maybe next year to come out. What's up? What's up? I didn't already say Carlos. What's up, Carlos? OJC's in the house. What's up, baby? Yeah, David Nelms remembers the MASH, of course. So the second one I want to show, and this one is coming out in March. So March 16th, you can look for this one. Again, classic series. I am super glad they're doing this on classic series. It's Hank Mobley. I love my Hank Mobley. Again, another saxophone player, another guy that has his own voice. Just like Coltrane, just like Sonny, he kind of got the moniker middleweight champion. I don't know if that's supposed to be a slight because I know we think of Coltrane as the heavyweight, but he's got his own space, and Hank Mobley's underrated. But you can see here again, man, we got Art Blakey, Freddie Hubbard, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, another fantastic lineup. This happens to be the double 45 Music Matters. Of course, it sounds fantastic. I mean, these are pricey. I only have a few of these. I picked this one up because I like the record and I wanted to see honestly, I just wanted to see how much better it was if it was better sounding. But for most people, the classic series is going to be just fine. So that's cool, man. I'm glad they're doing more Mobley. I'm glad that Roll Call is getting some love because I think for a while this was kind of flying under the radar until they started doing some reissues of it. This one was recorded in 1957, released in 57. That's kind of unusual. Oftentimes you see these blue notes, they percolate for a long time for some reason after they're recorded before they actually get issued. But yeah, like I said, this has a fantastic lineup. This is a great record. So look for this one, May 16th, Hank Mobley. So already 2 great albums of 2 phenomenal saxophone players right there. So fortunately, these guys did record for Blue Note, so we know we're going to get a lot of this stuff probably in classic series, but some of this stuff maybe even get tone poets of it. Yeah, OJ, man, great lineup on that one, man. All right, so the next one that I have, and again, I just pulled 5. I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about these, so you guys, just kind of give you my thoughts on what to look forward to. The next one is going to be a Sonny Clark, and we got Sonny's Crib. This one's coming out September 19th. So, we got a little wait for it. And this is a Japanese press. These are great, by the way. If you see them with these stickers on them, the BLP 1500 series, I say pick them up. They're tough to find in the wild, but I mean, these sound fantastic. They have a great reputation for sounding really good. But we're getting this on the classic series. So Sonny Clark is another one. He's fantastic, piano player, obviously. Sonny wasn't really on my radar much until the last few years. So I don't know if that bodes to the fact that he's didn't really get a lot of love until recently, but he's starting to kind of rise to the top, I think, for people. He's got a lot of great stuff. since I've been listening to him the last few years, I really love his style. Does a lot of his own composing and stuff. So here we got Donald Byrd, Curtis Fuller, Coltrane in the house. That's cool because you're not going to see a lot of Coltrane on Blue Note, right? So that's cool that we got Coltrane there. You got Paul Chambers and Art Taylor. So again, a fantastic Blue Note. Going to get the classic series love on that one. So definitely check that out. Yeah, for sure. I should have mentioned that. You guys don't get enough of me during the week, Monday through Friday. You can catch me on Whatnot Saturday and Sunday. In fact, this isn't a plug or anything, but all this jazz back here is for sale on Whatnot. So yeah, definitely check that out. Thanks for mentioning that, Chris. Appreciate you. Cesar, what's up? Cesar in the house. I love it. I love to see it, baby. We love a Cesar sighting. Okay, so that's 3. I'll cover 2 more, and then we'll move on to something else. So another guy who I love, and this is another guy that really, if I'm being honest, didn't really come on my radar until recently also. But Jackie McLean getting some more love. He's gotten some fantastic love from Tone Poet in recent years. And this one is particularly spicy. You guys know I love Bobby Hutcherson. Bobby Hutcherson appears on 3 Jackie McLean records, including this one, One Step Beyond. They're all fire. It's hard to pick one over the other, but to get Bobby and Jackie together is a beautiful thing. And Bobby is appearing on this one as well, and he sounds fantastic. So this is getting the classic series treatment, man. So affordable now, because these have been pricey. You're going to be able to pick up, for $30 or less, a nice copy of One Step Beyond, Jackie McLean. So yeah, Bobby Hutcherson on vibes, of course. I always mess this name up. Is it Gratchen Moncure III? I'm not sure how to pronounce that first name. On trombone, which is special too. Eddie Kahn on double bass, and Tony Williams, the great Tony Williams, on drums. So man, you got 2 guys off of my guys Out to Lunch right there. You got Tony Williams on drums and Bobby Hutcherson on vibes. So it is creeping into Out to Lunch territory, which I love to see it. This is great. This is just great. And so again, it's hard for me to pick one. There's 3 Jackie McLeans with Bobby Hutcherson. I say grab them all. They're all fantastic. So cool that we're getting one on Classic Series. So you're gonna be able to pick this up affordably. That's just a phenomenal record. Yeah, and OJ saying McLean and Gretchen, if I'm saying that right. It's phenomenal also. Elliot, what's up, Elliot? Yeah, man, we're doing daily, baby. We are doing daily, Elliot. We are doing daily. Yeah, 8 p.m. Central every day except Friday. And then on Fridays, we are doing 6 p.m. Central. Reason being, we don't want to step on the jazz bums. So we're going to take you right into the jazz bums. Not only that, but you're going to be able to watch our show. You don't even have to lift a finger. When our show ends, it swoops you right into the jazz bums. So that's going to be exciting. Speaking of jazz bums, do not go anywhere. Felipe is here tonight. And that's going to be in about 40 minutes or so. Okay, so the next one, in fact, the last one of the 5 I wanted to show is, man, this was a sleeper for a long time. It started getting some love. I think it started showing up on, the OGs are so rare, you would see this on some of those like priciest jazz sales lists. That's how I found it. This is Johnny Griffin. This is Blow in Session. Another one that we're getting on the Classic Series, man. This is phenomenal, guys. If you don't know about this, Johnny Griffin, Volume 2, also known, again, lovingly known as Blow in Session. Why call it Blow in Session? Who else is on here besides good old Johnny Griffin? Well, how about Hank Mobley and John Coltrane? 3 tenors. And then you get Lee Morgan. I know that's Chris's guy. Lee Morgan's going to be on this. Wynton Kelly on piano. Paul Chambers on bass. And Art Blakey on drums. You can't ask for a better lineup. And it lives up to that. It really does. It lives up to it. So Johnny Griffin, Volume 2, a Blow in Session classic. We're getting the classic. This is going to be one of the last ones that, well, they'll bury last. December 12th. You're going to see Jimmy Smith. That's going to be a good month. You're going to get Jimmy Smith House Party. And then you're going to get the 1957 recording and issue, Johnny Griffin, a Blowing Session. This is just fantastic. Like I said, Lee Morgan, Hank Mobley, Coltrane, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Art Blake. This might be the highlight for me, even with the Jackie McLean and the Bobby Hutcherson. If you're only going to pick one up, if I could only recommend one, it would have to be this. A Blow in Session. It's phenomenal. I don't think the ones I have are Cesar, asking if the Music Matters or SRXs. I don't know. To be honest with you, I only have 2 of these. I'm not I don't go crazy, but I gotta choose my records wisely. I don't go out for $150 records very often. I know they have an SRX as well series. I don't know if they cross over, to be honest. I don't get enough of them to really kind of know that, but it just sound phenomenal. And I know the SRX sound phenomenal too. Yeah, vinyl and kicks, man. You gotta love that. You gotta love the Blow in Session, man. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So super stoked. So actually, we're going to revisit this once. If you're interested, we'll get more into the classic series when Felipe gets here. I want to pick his brain a little bit. To be honest, I don't have a lot of this stuff. It's tough for me to speak to it. I wanted to show some of the stuff I have. I'm sure he's going to know about a lot of this stuff. So we're going to get to pick his brain about it. So we'll revisit that list. But man, it looks really, really good. In fact, if I was going to make a statement, and I don't think it would be too crazy to say that this might want to be one of the best classic series offerings they've had. It's really, really good. So we got some great names on here. Other names are going to be Horace Silver, Lou Donaldson, Dexter Gordon, Freddie Ho. Just tons of great stuff. Okay. Well, hell, let's check it out right now. Why not? Let's find out together. If I had a drum roll, I would play it. Yeah, this is black wax, and it is not translucent. Yeah, so this is not SRX then. Thanks, man. I guess, I don't own any SRX. Again, kind of out of my price range for the most part, so. Cesar, can you speak to the SRX series, man? What does this stuff sound like, dude? I got to imagine it sounds great. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm sure it sounds phenomenal. Yeah, we're still doing the B-side, Elliot. That's going to be on Thursday. So, yeah, I'll just quickly kind of, I know we're just starting this. You're going to hear me repeat myself a little bit, but I just want to make sure we get everyone up to speed. Oh, I thought you meant, okay, which one? Which one, dude? I thought you meant the Music Matters. We're going live daily now. We're going live daily. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. You can catch us right here. Friday, we're going live at 6 p.m. every Friday. So we're going to take you right into the Jazz Bums. We're going to do a couple hours. It's going to vary. So Monday's still going to be me and Chris. We're still going to be doing our thing. So that'll be a full show of Chris and I. And then Tuesday will be more like this. You're going to see me, killing time for an hour. And then, we're going to have a guest. So we're trying to get guests on here every Tuesday. And so today it's Felipe from the Jazz Bum. So we're going to kind of get you all looped up for that when he gets here so that we're ready to rock and roll, hitting him with some questions and stuff. And then Wednesdays is going to be now, if you guys are familiar with my work with Brandon, we do videos together. It's been about every couple of weeks. Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame is how you know him, the OG. We're going to go live now. So we've been doing pre-recorded stuff. We're going to go live every Wednesday. Tomorrow is the first day we go live. I have to tease it. We're doing a co-room tour. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to walk around our room, show you everything. You're going to get to ask questions in real time. I'm crazy enough to even think that up. Think it's a good idea. I don't know how it's going to go. Technology permitting, we'll get it done. It should be really fun. Thursday, as you said, we are doing the B side. That's going to be every other week. I don't know yet what I'm going to do on the A side yet. Because I don't want to compete with Chance, obviously. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. That's the one thing I'm not sure about. But yes, B side is this Thursday. That's going to be a great one. And then Friday, like I said, we're going to go live a couple hours early just to kind of get you ready for the Jazz Bum. So look forward to all that stuff. Cesar RTI uses, so that's a quieter vinyl, but almost the same are regular black. Okay. Johnny Griffin was released as SRX. Yeah, this is a Japanese pressing that I have, Cesar. I do not think it, I don't think I have any SRX in the collection, to be honest with you. Oh, David, gonna miss the tour. Yeah, man. Well, this stuff will live on YouTube forever, but that is going to be one where you kind of want to be there live because Brandon has, and it's hard to even overstate just how incredible his room is. If you've ever seen it, if you don't know, at Mr. Hall of Fame on YouTube, I'd say don't go look now if you haven't yet. Be here for it tomorrow live. But he does a room tour every year, I think, and he's been doing it for probably 15 years since he came on here. It's just unbelievable. It literally is like having a record store in your house. He goes insane. He's got the OG stickers he puts on his OGs. It's very, very cool. So you're going to get to see it intimately tomorrow. Sorry you can't be here. Man, it's going to be a good one, David. Yeah, thanks, Elliot. Ambitious is right. We'll see how this goes, baby. We'll see how this goes after 7 days. Because, like I said, and Group Seeker said it. I do auctions on the weekends. So this is going to keep me busy, man. It's going to keep me busy. Tell your friends, man. It's so ambitious that the thing that's really going to keep it going, guys, is going to be. And this is I don't normally do this. I've been on YouTube for 2 years, but this is ambitious enough where anything you guys can do to help is going to really help this thing go, and continue to do it. Thanks for showing up here, but it's little things like liking, the videos, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, even commenting. I know guys that are here all the time. Cesar, a regular, Vinyl and Kicks, a regular, you guys. I appreciate you so much. Drop us a comment. You know what I mean? Even if it's just something small, that just lets YouTube know, share these videos around and stuff. So makes it worthwhile to kind of get this stuff done. Thanks, David. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Vinyl and Kicks. To me, a lot of LPs aren't worth the aftermarket prices. Yeah, you talking about like the classic series and the in general, or are you talking about like the Tone Poet and the classic series stuff that's coming out? What I miss? Oh, right. They said so. Okay. What did sorry, Chris, I missed you. Chris has the Johnny Griffin and Blue Train SRX. They're great, but not worth secondary market price. Yeah, okay. Now I got it. I'm back. I'm caught up now. Yeah, I should have asked you, dude. Chris is a guy that, in fact, we started doing Mondays doing jazz. And so if you guys want to check out the videos we did, Chris and I, there's a whole playlist of them. We did a lot of jazz stuff. We kind of broke down each of the instrumentalists. So we did like saxophone one day, piano the next, bass, drums. Chris has an amazing jazz collection. So probably rivals Felipe in some ways, although they're very different. Felipe is going to come in hot and heavy with the OGs. and Chris is going to come in hot and heavy with the reissues. So, but still lots of knowledge there. All right. So let's do this. We still got a little bit of time. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be here with Felipe at in about a half an hour. He's going to be here. Felipe from the Jazz Bums. We're going to talk about the Discord. We're going to talk about the YouTube channel. We're going to talk about the interviews that they do, the Friday live streams. But there's a kind of a special announcement too. I think you guys are going to enjoy. We're going to hit him up. I don't know if he's going to tell us. I don't know if I know that he knows that I know that he knows that I know. So I'm hoping he's going to tell us about it. So maybe if we press him, he got a really cool interview lined up. So let's poke him about that. Breakfast King in the house. What's up, baby? Oh, of course he will. Of course he will. Of course he will. We won't give him we don't let people give us anything less than being their best selves. Well, let me talk about a couple of other things, man. So there's a couple of other guys that, again, have been coming to my attention. Well, one semi-recently, partially because their stuff was just so hard to pick up for so long. Finally been getting some love in recent years. So what's up, Deb Bob from WPKN? Check out WPKN, dude. I linked it in the last sorry, still getting over a cough weeks later. I linked it in the last video we did, Bob. So yeah, everyone go check out WPKN. There is an app. You can download the app. And I know, Deb Bob, you can tell us. I haven't got the dates down yet, but I think he does a couple days a month where he plays crazy, beautiful, awesome, amazing music. So if you want something a little bit different in your playlist, definitely check that out. Deb Bob has not paid me anything to say that. I just thought it was really cool. But the guy I'm talking about is Pharoah Sanders, and Pharoah Sanders has been finally getting some love in the last couple of years, and it's been like waiting each time there's going to be a new release. And now I know we get the record store day stuff, and they've been coming out with a lot of live stuff, but just the regular release albums finally getting some love. So let me just show you the ones I have, and I want to talk about two kind of more specifically. First one is Black Unity. These are all great. If you might be a little bit familiar with Pharoah, and probably the way I became familiar was through Alice Coltrane and Alice Coltrane's work with Pharoah. But Black Unity is a great album. If you don't know what to expect from Pharoah, he can be polarizing. Some people can be disappointed because he really spans both ends of the spectrum. He can be very avant-garde, but at the same time, he can be very beautiful. And just a lot of his albums are going to have like one track per side. This is no exception. And so you just get a nice vibe. You know, you put it on, you step away, go in your smoking chair, you know, toke on a cigar, have some brandy, and just chill out. And then flip it over and, you know, go to another world. And that's kind of how his records are. Black Unity, great album. Finally getting some love. Another one, this will be the one that most people will have heard of. This got part of the Acoustic Sound series. This is Karma. This is where a lot of people start. This is a great album, obviously. Came out on Impulse. Highly recommended. Definitely check out Karma by Pharoah Sanders. Again, these are pretty rate. I think these are still being pressed. I don't think this is the kind of thing, I don't think it is, where you got to pay crazy prices on the secondary market. You can pick these up for basically what they came out as, same price. So another one, I think this is just a song per side too, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe two songs on one side, but fantastic. Another one, this is kind of one that, you know, maybe flies under the radar a little bit, but this got a reissue. And so this is Jewels of Thought by Pharoah Sanders. I think that's cool about these. I hate to say it, but the covers are all really nice. I love the Pharoah Sanders album covers, man. They're really cool. Yeah, but same deal here. You're going to get a couple songs per side. Beautiful stuff. You know, I'm someone, you know, I get my toe in the water when it comes to free jazz, really is what we should say here. It's really more free jazz. Avant-garde, I'm a huge fan. You know, Bobby Hutcherson will take you there. Eric Dolphy will take you there. I love those guys. This is going to be a little more free, but it's this. If you're not a fan of the free jazz, and if you are, there's nothing more to say. Pharoah Sanders is amazing. You're going to love it. If you're not, the other side of the record is so good. It's still worth picking up. This is one that I feel that way about. I am so glad this got reissued last year. This is Loving Us All. Pharoah Sanders finally got reissued, man. This is what I've been waiting for a long time. And it's one of those deals where sometimes you got to buy them when you see them, because this record was about, you can find them, you know, OGs for maybe $100, maybe a little less, probably even less. And I passed on it. I'm like, that's kind of pricey. Let's just wait and see what happens. Well, what happened was they went to like $200-300. Finally got a reissue. You can snag these for like $50-60 now. It may be less on Discogs. Side A, beautiful, just awesome. Full side, chef's kiss, chill out to it. Side B, get your avant-garde socks or your free jazz socks on. But it's great. And last one I want to show is this box set that came out, I think last year, maybe the year before. It's called Pharoah. And this one is super cool, man. This one's 2 LPs. I think it comes with a book also. Yeah, man, this thing's really cool, and it's great. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be all live material. If I'm not mistaken, 1977. Yeah, Harvest Time Live, right? Pharoah is probably the studio. Harvest Time Live is the live. So, man, dude, it's so good. Again, these are not pricey. You know, I try to always show stuff on my channel that, you know, the average I consider myself the average record buyer, right? I'm not someone that's going to sit here and show you, you know, UHQRs and all that stuff. So, you know, if I'm showing you, generally speaking, it's going to be, you know, affordable to pick up. This is a great album. Like Groove Seeker says, man, great box. All classic Pharoah LPs being shown. Yeah, for sure. The more recent Sanders LP with Floating Points is killer. Out just before he passed. OJ says, okay, I'm going to keep my eyes out. Man, I love Pharoah so much. I'll take a chance on anything. So check out Dead Bob over at WPKN. He's out there every 4th and 5th Friday of the month. So yeah, think of the last Fridays of the month and check that out. Really cool music. Really cool music. Yeah. I love that cover too, Cesar. I love that cover too. And great music, man. Fantastic music. All right. Since we're on a jazz kick, we still got 25 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna get Felipe. I assure you, we're gonna get the best version. He's coming on here, man. I'm not gonna let Felipe is fantastic. I've never known him to give anything less than 100%. You're gonna get it today. No problem. No doubt in my mind. Eric Wong, what's up, baby? What's up? Wyoming, Dave is in the house. Thanks for being here, Wyoming. Wyoming, you're someone that you are true blue, showing up here every day, man. I love you. I appreciate you. We want to grow. We want to grow this little thing we got going, this daily show. So Wyoming, you are one. Drop us a comment. You know what I mean? I know it's a little extra. Hit the like button, but you're someone, you're here all the time, man. Would love to. Those comments go a long, long way from everyone, really. But especially the regular guys. Drop us a comment too, because that'll trick YouTube into thinking that we actually do good content over here. All right, the next guy I want to talk about, another guy that's been getting some love. I think of this guy almost as, and I think I said this maybe yesterday. So sorry, I just can't kick this cough. Is that this is a guy that I felt like he was sort of my dude. I discovered him, going back probably 25 years ago. They put out a triple CD or something of his work. And the local radio station, when at the time I lived in the Bay Area in California, and I think it's the college station, I want to say KFJC, they played jazz, and they would always specialize on one musician like Sundays or something like that. So I'm driving in the car, I hear this music come on, and I freak out about it. I'm like, what is this? At that time, you got to pull over to the side of the road and, dial them up. And hey, man, what were you guys playing like 20 minutes ago? I'm just going to go right to it. This guy I'm talking about is Sun Ra. This is what they were playing, and they've subsequently released it on wax. Thank God. I love this stuff. You don't have to have this on wax. Go check it out on the streaming service of your choice. Grab the CDs. They're phenomenal. But each of these are 3 LPs, and it's 2 volumes. These are the singles. So this is what I heard, blew my mind. I'd never heard anything like it. It was like garage jazz. It was like, like you hear about garage bands, garage rock, garage punk. It was like that, but it was jazzy. And I was like, oh my God, I need this. So went straight to, at that time, my local would have been like Amoeba or Rasputin's or something in Berkeley, California. And I grabbed the CD, fell in love immediately. So I want to show Sun Ra some love. He's been getting a lot of love. What's exciting about Sun Ra is in the last decade or something, like all of a sudden everyone knows who Sun Ra is. That's really, really cool that he's kind of bubbled to the top. Unfortunately, it means his OGs are extremely pricey. But the good news is they've done a lot of reissues. They've done a lot of bad reissues. You got to be careful when you're picking up Sun Ra, but they've done a lot of reissues here. And this is one. So this is the 2 volume, as I said, the singles. This is what I heard the very first time. Has a special place in my heart for that reason. 6 records between these. These aren't that pricey though. You can pick these up. I think I paid $30 and $35. This is going to be a little different though. This is going to be, I wouldn't say if you've never heard Sun Ra to just jump into this, even though that's kind of what I did. But they've since released some really greatest hits records of his. I guess you call them greatest hits or whatever, kind of a cross section of his music. And maybe once you get into him a little more, then I would say jump into this. These were 45 RPM 7-inch records that basically Sun Ra recorded at his house. You know what I mean? They would do a show. They would sell the record at the show. The 7 inches are so scarce that they, even to put these records together, they had to go to the furthest reaches of the earth to find all these cuts. But it's phenomenal. If you like that kind of thing, man, there's going to be some spoken word on here. There's going to be some doo-wop on here. There's going to be some avant-garde on here. There's going to be straightforward jazz. You're going to get to hear Sun Ra on piano, on the organ, on the synth. Man, if you like Ra, this is a great place to go. So the 2-volume, the definitive 45s, going to take you all the way, his whole career, 1952 to 1991. Of course, Sun Ra's band is still going, man. You can catch them live. I'm going to show a few more, but I have a funny, it's funny now, I guess, but it was not funny at the time, story about Sun Ra. So I'm talking about Sun Ra probably on the channel and, to my girlfriend and stuff. And we were playing Sun Ra at the house and everything. And she's like, okay, gets it in her head. And she's so amazing. She loves to surprise me with stuff, So she knows Sun Ra. So she's going along. She sees, oh, Sun Ra band coming to Portland, Oregon. Cool. Buys the tickets. Oh my God, we're going to get to see the Sun Ra band. This is so freaking cool. When is it? 8 weeks away or whatever it was, right? So we go about our lives. And if you could guess what I'm going to say, one day we're just sitting around the house and it's like, you like jump out of your chair. Like, no, it was like a Home Alone where they forgot the kid. It was like, wait, Sun Ra, what's the date? Wait, when was the show? It was like, it had already passed. We bought tickets and we missed the show. So at the time, you're trying to hold back your tears. Now it's just a funny, whatever story. But yeah, so that's my Sun Ra story. But another one that if you're just getting into Sun Ra, you're just curious about Sun Ra. You don't want to go out and spend all the money on the originals. You're not sure where to start. They're reissuing all these, the live recordings and stuff, that just kind of not reissuing, but just putting them out and stuff for Record Store Day and things. Pick up this. This is Marshall Allen Presents Sun Ra and the Orchestra. It's 2 albums. It's called The Orbit of Ra. This is a great cross-section of Sun Ra music. It's going to get you're going to get to kind of sample everything. It's like a buffet of Sun Ra music. It's really great. It sounds phenomenal. And the thing about Sun Ra, you got to remember, is that like I was telling you, the 7-inch records, those are like sourced from the 45s. You know what I mean? So this is not going to be high fidelity stuff, but you still got to have it. You still got to have it. Sun Ra and the Orbit of Ra, man. This one's great. Double LP. If you're just getting started, definitely sample that. Again, check it out on a streaming service first. But fantastic stuff. Some of the original issues that Sun Ra came out with, and man, unfortunately, his reissue catalog is very confusing, not always great. I guess some of the stuff, I don't know whether it's in the public domain or however, some of the stuff gets picked up by reissue plants or whatever, and they reissue the stuff and they don't pay attention to the quality. It's a money grab. And I made the mistake of picking up 4, but these are great albums. Again, I still listen to them. Yeah, these were money grabs. They have some QC issues, but they're fantastic albums and you should check them out. So Planet Earth right there. It's fantastic Sun Ra album that I highly recommend. One that a lot of people hear about and know about. And interestingly, because it's kind of an unusual record, but this is one that just kind of picked up steam, and it's Atlantis. And you'll see this with a couple different record covers. But this one's fantastic, Atlantis. So this isn't one I would necessarily recommend first, but it's like everyone knows about it. So, give it a shot. And then a couple other great ones. Interstellar Low-Ways right there. Again, cheap reissue, but it's fine. It's fine. And the other one's going to be The Night of the Purple Moon, Sun Ra and his Intergalactic Infinity Orchestra. So you can see like Orchestra has been rebranded as Orchestra. And his bands always have these different names. Sun Ra claimed to be from, I think, Jupiter, right? Unusual cat, but very cool. I get excited when his piano work is being featured. And a lot of times a lot of the later stuff you'll hear is going to be more avant-garde. It's going to be a lot of organ and synthesizers. That's cool too. But he could play the piano in his own way. I'm not going to sit here and say he's Bill Evans or something. But that's not the point. The point is that you get the brain of Sun Ra coming through those keys, and it's really, really cool. So try to catch. I think he's got some solo piano records too. Try to check that out. Yes, Vinyl and Kicks, the legendary Sun Ra. Jumped headfirst into avant-garde free jazz and loved it ever since. That's great. I know a lot of people, in the jazz world will tend to avoid certain things. A lot of us kind of have our safe space, so to speak, hard bop is one, it's a lot of the Blue Note stuff. I think since Blue Note started reissuing and those 10 years, really the sweets between like whatever it is, 56 and 66, or whatever you want to say, hard bop reigns supreme. And you get a lot of people kind of fall into that. It's fantastic stuff, but you can really limit yourself. So I love that you're into the avant-garde and free jazz. In order to get, in order to listen to Bobby Hutcherson, all of his stuff, you kind of gotta, free your mind a little bit. And same thing with Eric Dolphy. Eric Dolphy is a guy that, he doesn't get probably the love and recognition he deserves because, his stuff is going to be a little more out there. Groove Seeker says, check our Surrender to the Air, Sun Ra Orchestra, and Trey and Fishman of Fish. Oh, any way we can shoehorn Fish into the conversation, Chris is going to do it. Okay, I love that. Oteil from the Almonds and a few other cats. Cool, very cool. Surrender to the Air. There you go. Check that one out. Sun Ra, very influential, many musicians of various genres. I contend that Frank Zappa had to be influenced by Sun Ra. It's just, there's just too many cross sections when you listen to, in a lot of different ways, in spirit, but also in function. And a lot of the some of the stuff that Frank was doing, I can't imagine that he wasn't influenced by Sun Ra. And it's funny, Frank, again, we should do a Frank Zappa show. I've been wanting to do one for years. We're going to get to it. And he's a polarizing cat, right? I mean, some people love him, some people hate him. And he was a very opinionated person, but he was also kind of all over the place. He was irreverent about a lot of things. And one of those things might be jazz, right? But he loved it because so much of it goes into his music. In fact, the CD, Make a Jazz Noise here, highly recommend it. Anyway, not to go off on a tangent, but Vinyl and Kicks, absolutely. Sun Ra, very influential. And I can't imagine that Zappa wasn't listening to Sun Ra secretly under the covers at night, Let's see what else. I'll make sure I get to all your guys' comments. All right. So we got about 15 minutes to go before we're gonna get to Felipe from the Jazz Bums. Don't go anywhere. I just want to remind guys, I'll do it really quickly. If you're just joining, we're going to a daily format. 8 p.m. Central, Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Central on Friday. On Friday, don't worry, you're not going to miss the Jazz Bums. In fact, you don't even have to lift a finger. We're going to take you right from our show, and through the magic of YouTube technology, you're going to end up, boom, plop, smack dab in the middle of the beginning of the Jazz Bum show. So that's going to be really cool on Fridays. Dead Bob says, Mayan Temple's allowed a release. Breakfast King, ask Felipe about the solution to tape degradation. Hey, thank you, Breakfast King. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Remind us when he gets here. Because that's part of this is a reason to do the, by the way, just a little segue. The reason I'm doing this live and I'm going live daily is because I want to, and I want to do we're going to do interviews multiple per week. And hopefully we're going to, you're going to get to some people that maybe you haven't heard of, or people in the, that are sort of, more familiar in the vinyl sphere in terms of, what am I trying to say? Behind the scenes stuff, guys, right? Maybe engineers, who knows? That's the hope, is we're going to get some of that stuff. Writers and maybe even musicians. I have a couple people lined up, musicians that I'm going to see if I can talk to and stuff. The reason to do it live is because, how many times I watch a video of an interview and it's fine, but you're like, why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? And Breakfast King, you're exactly right. The reason to do it live is so that you don't have to go through that. You're here. It's happening. Like, ask the questions that you guys want to ask. And that's why I want to do this live. So that's the reason why I'm going live with Brandon now on Wednesdays. It's the reason we go live with Chris on Mondays. And so, yeah, it's a little more intimate and it's current, and you guys get to ask those questions. Daily, holy cow spins, did you quit your day job? David says, well, we won't get into that. Yeah, so, but yeah, basically, I'm like, I got nothing to do between 6 and 8 Pacific time. Like, hey, let's go live. Why not? What's up, Andy G? Thanks for being here, baby. Love to see you, man. Make a jazz noise, Dead Bob. Tremendous. It is, dude. I love that album. I just love that album. I wish it would come on wax. I'm a weirdo. It's like I like to have this stuff on wax. It's funny because even Chris, the Groove Seeker, who's in the house today, shout out Chris. You see him every Monday and every other Thursday, right here. You know, we'll talk about it. He's like, well, just get the CD, just stream it, dude. I'm like, I know, but like, you know, my system is set up for vinyl. It's like, I don't plug anything else into it. I don't plug my computer in, or it's like, I like to have the wax. So, you know, it's like right here, like, you know, why would I spend another $65 to get these 6 records on wax? You know, this was digital. Like this got transferred from 45s onto CD on, you know, at the time it came out. They put it on wax in recent years. I'm crazy enough to buy it because I want to stick it on my turntable. That's how I listen to music. So point being, Dead Bob, is make a jazz noise. Why isn't it on wax, man? Record Store Day. There it is. If you're watching and you have command over the master tapes of Frank Zappa, please release Make a Jazz Noise on wax. We want to see it, baby. For me and Dead Bob. Yeah. All right, we've got a few minutes. Let me see. What can I do? I knew that on day one I wasn't going to have enough programming for you guys to lead you in. It's all good, man. We're surrounded by records. Feel free to ask questions too. I will get you in there to talk to Felipe. Felipe is going to be here in about 9 minutes away. 9 minutes away. Also, let me just kind of sum that up too. So we're gonna have Felipe in 9 minutes. Jazz Bombs, 8 minutes. It's going to be kind of an interview. It's going to be kind of a nice conversation. We'll ask him some questions. You guys should ask questions too. We can probe him about stuff. We're going to talk to him about the Discord channel, which is massive. If you guys don't know about the Jazz Bums Discord channel, check it out. The YouTube channel. They do a lot of great interviews. He has one coming up very soon. As a matter of fact, he might be talking to the person right now. So we're going to try to see if he'll tell us a little bit about it. We'll see if he'll tell us a little bit about this this interview that's going to be coming up on their channel very soon. Yeah, man, I wish if Make a Jazz Noise was on vinyl, I'd pull it out right now, but it's not. So earlier I was talking about the Jackie McLean that's getting some love. We'll get through this and then we should have Felipe by the time I'm wrapped up here. But we just got One Step Beyond's coming out November 21st. Highly recommended. The great Bobby Hutcherson is on that album as well. Another one with Bobby Hutcherson that you gotta check this out. Jackie McLean and Bobby Hutcherson together are, I mean, Bobby Hutcherson's my guy, but when they play together, it's special. It really is special. So here's Destination, Jackie McLean. Right there, Bobby Hutcherson plays on this one too. Bobby Hutcherson, vibraphone. You know, it's just phenomenal. Jackie McLean playing sax. There is a couple of moments on this record. In fact, I think it's this one where it's super chill. You hear the vibes, and it's you're just grooving. It's beautiful. And then, like a freight train, comes Jackie McLean, man, and you're like, whoa! So, just some special moments when those two get together. And yeah, on the Tone Poets series, we got. This I think was last year. Action, Jackie McLean, the great Bobby Hutcherson, Charles Tolliver, Cecil McBee, Billy Higgins on drums. This is one of the great Tone Poets, guys. Definitely snag this one. Some great moments on here as well. So yeah, those are the three, man. If I was going to recommend some Jackie McLean, of course, I'm biased. Pick up the three with Bobby. They're phenomenal. Of course, you're getting what's great about the reissues that they're doing, that Blue Note's doing, is you're getting all from the original master tapes. You know, you get the additional sort of form factor with the gatefolds and stuff like that with the Tone Poets. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a big Tone Poet person. I am, but I think I've even said this to Chris. It's like, can we do away with the gatefolds? I know Chris has probably is going to parrot what I'm saying because he has a space issue. First of all, his gatefolds are thick, but also, you know, something about the Tone Poet series that It's not, it doesn't feel like you're holding an OG in your hand. It's like a new thing. That's totally fine. You're getting the gatefold, you're getting the session photos. That's cool. I say, give me an insert with the session photos. Get rid of the gatefold, and do it more like the what's that series? I'm gonna blank out now. They're doing a series. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, you know what? I think I got it right here. Yeah, right here, right here. This is how you do it right. This is the Prestige series. This is Analog Productions. This is how you package a record, man. These things are beautiful. Jackets, they're glossy. They're old school, right? They look like the originals and everything, man. I wish, and this is the same price as a Tone Poet. I think Blue Note, if you're listening, go to this. Go to this. Yeah, these are great, by the way. So if you're looking for prestige stuff, or new jazz, which are the same label, check out these prestige reissues that came out from Analog Productions. They really are phenomenal. They sound great. They look great. I just think they reproduced them right. I don't know if you guys have any of those. All right, we are 4 minutes away. Vinyl and Kicks. I want to ask Felipe about a certain Brazilian artist. You're in the right place. You are in the right place. So yeah, we'll have a little conversation. I have some questions lined up for him. We'll start there, and then but we'll definitely be taking questions. If I miss you, don't be afraid to spam the chat. So I know, and I can be watching and for that, and plug that in. Tomorrow is going to be super exciting. So we're going live 8 p.m. Central tomorrow. Also, Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame from YouTube, you know him, the OG. We've been doing a show called Turntable Tales, and it's been pre-recorded and edited, and we put it up on YouTube. We're going to start doing a live show every Wednesday. It's going to be every Wednesday. Tomorrow, we couldn't kick it off in more, I don't know, crazy fashion. You guys know about the room tours. He was actually, the way this got started, he was poking me. He's like, dude, when are you going to do a room tour? When are you going to do a room tour? I'm like, come on, man. It's a small area. But he's king of the room tours. So I said, what could be funnier than the guy that has the biggest record collection and the most massive, curated, just crazy record collection and room, between posters and, just whatever, everything that's going on there, wall records and all that. And the guy that has the smallest record collection do a live stream room tour. That's happening tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central. If you can make it, don't miss it. I need to get Super Chat set up, man. That'd be great, Group Seeker. Yep. We need to plug that in, baby. We're just starting, I spent a lot of time just trying to get this working and getting, enough people to talk to this week for you guys. And of course, we got the B-side coming up on Thursday. So definitely check that out as well. But yeah, there's a lot of things to work out. This is going to be so fun, man. Like I said, if you guys have the wherewithal to drop us a comment, a like, all that stuff's going to help so that we can, continue to do this. Cause yeah, it's going to be ambitious doing a daily stream. I love it. I'm excited for it. And Chris said it. Yeah, dude, what about Whatnot on the weekends? It's like, yeah, I know. My girlfriend keeps reminding me about that too. So that amounts to 7 days a week. We might take off the A side. Maybe we'll take off every other Thursday for the A side. And that'll give me a little break. But this is going to be fun. I love it. I love being here with you guys live. We are a minute away. We'll see. Felipe just getting finished up at the gym, I suspect. And he's got some cool news. Like I said, we'll see. I'm trying to pick his brain. I don't know if he wants to talk about it yet. I got some inside scoop on an interview that he's doing. And so I want to kind of probe him about that. I think that'll be fun. The other exciting thing, if you guys like jazz, if you guys watch the Jazz Bums, if you don't, you should. They do a live show every Friday night. What's cool is we're going to be going right up to the Jazz Bums show on Fridays. So you can get to us a little bit early, before an hour before Jazz Bum time. We're going to get you started at 6 p.m. Central on Fridays. And then, I'll say it again, you don't have to lift a finger. We're going to take you right into it's going to be like, you're going to blink, and the next thing you know, you're going to be on the Jazz Bums channel. So through the magic of YouTube, we're going to make that happen on Friday. All right, we are at the top of the hour, guys. I'm excited. It's kind of like waiting in line at Disneyland, and it's like we're next in line right now. We're next in line. Yeah, Felipe needs a link. Let me. Excuse me one moment, folks. Do not go anywhere. Oh, he needs a link. He does need a link. You're right. He needs a link. No, he literally needs a link, Jason. Sorry. Oh, God. Okay. Sitting here yapping away. I promised you a link, Felipe. This is on me. See, here we go. Working out the kinks, guys. Working out the kinks. Thank you, Groove Seeker. You have my attention. All right, he has the link. He is on his way over, guys. He is on his way over now. Felipe from the Jazz Bums is about to appear. This will be fun. We're going to do, we'll talk to him. We'll do a little interview. You guys put your questions for him in the chat so we can, pick his brain about some things. And then we're going to do a little game. We'll wrap up kind of how we started. We'll go over the whole Classics 2025 Classic Series list. And we'll torture Felipe by making him choose between two records all the way until we get to the end, a little this or that action. And at the end, reigning supreme, standing there in all of its glory, will be his highest recommendation for the 2025 Classic Series. Folks, please welcome the Jazz Bum himself. You know the Discord, you know the YouTube channel. Give him some love. Here he is, Felipe.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, dude.
That was cool. Nice joining.
Yeah, it's great to have you, dude.
You're making the push to stream every day, so it's always nice to be chatting with you guys.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it kind of goes both ways. Some people are like, oh, cool, he's going live every day. And others are like, are you crazy? What are you doing? So, but yeah, it's great to kind of kick it off, man. You sort of be the first, I don't know, interview, I guess. This will be very casual. It's not like a, technically an interview, but definitely ask you some questions and stuff. So,
we actually were just taping another one that should go probably tomorrow, the next day. Then you guys will see it.
Ooh, I know. I kind of tease that. I don't know how much you want to say, but
we got some of the scoop on a new series that's about to be released, starting at Record Store Day. That's it.
Ooh, nice. That's cool. Do you want to talk? You want to say who you talked to get that information?
Yeah, I mean, we just recorded a nice chat with Michael Framer, who's been involved in the whole reissue, the making of the records for the Strata series, and then so we got a nice conversation with him about, of course, this Michael Framer. So we talked about the releases, the process, and some other story as well. I think people are going to be entertained with that, for sure.
Michael Framer. That's awesome, dude. That's really, I know he's been on your channel before, right?
Yes, we had like a formal interview with him. I think that was in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was one of our early ones. And it was good. I mean, he, like him or not, he's very entertaining. He's very knowledgeable. He's a friend of ours. So every time we go to a hi-fi show, we meet him, and and all that. It's kind of fun to be able to learn from people and always have to hear what they have to say. And in this case, it was nice because this series is launching. Everybody's so excited about it. Everybody so wanted to know about it. So there's some good news is going to be sharing with us.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. That's going to drop, you said, the next couple of days over on the Jazz Bums channel.
Yeah, it should. Yes, it should. Just depends on editing, but there's not much to be edited out, trust me.
Nice. Yeah, that's great, dude. I am a big fan of Michael Framer. I think part of it is when I first started looking at vinyl on YouTube was probably about 2019, if I'm being honest. And so he was one of the first guys that I saw out here. And just, I think he's great, man. I love his energy. He's very knowledgeable. I think one of the first, and you've probably seen this video, I think he did an hour of just showing jazz reissues. and he's just going over like Music Matters and all these great titles, and I'm just sitting there with a pad of paper, like just writing all this stuff down. I mean,
Yeah.
I really like Michael Fremmer. I think he's great.
Yeah. Again, he's knowledgeable. He knows his stuff. Has a nice collection. I mean, it's always. I mean, I agree 100% or not with what he has to say, or I like him or not. I mean, you gotta respect. I think that's the key. We never had any issues with anybody not willing to talk to us. We always try to be very, respectful, and then extract from people the best of what they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. You guys look forward to that next couple of days. You're going to hear Felipe talking to Michael Fremmer, man, about a new series. That is so cool, dude. Yeah. Looking forward to that. So we'll check that out on the Jazz Bums.
Awesome.
Well, let's see. Let me see. I do have a few. There's some things I actually just been wanting to ask you for a long time, but we never really had the opportunity. So one thing, I mean, one basic question is just like the Jazz Bums. Like, how did the Jazz Bums start? And to be honest, and one question I was like, who are the Jazz Bums? It seems, and I hate to say that sounds maybe like an ignorant question, but I always see a lot of people on the channel. Sometimes guys come and go and all of this stuff. Who are the official Jazz Bums, and how did you guys get started?
Okay, I mean, there's always been myself, Chris, and Mike. Always been, always will be. There's no be no addition, subtraction. That's the way we work. But we are very open over the years. I mean, we developed some friendships and good relationships with people, and people like Mazzy, like Rob, Notes and Tones, Dave, Brandon. Brandon's from Portland, right? Your neighbor there. So yeah, I mean, people come, comment, have something nice to say, and they always been very supportive. I mean, especially, I think from the get-go, Mazzy and Rob they were very supportive. Was always spreading the word anytime they could, and so that's something that we find very, very nice and kind of them. So I think that was like around 2021 or so, maybe even earlier. We were all part of the Jazz Vinyl group on Facebook by Ken McAuliffe, and so you post stuff, people comment, and then one day for some reason I got into like direct message with Mike, and it became like constant. We're always talking about, and we always had on the back burners that should do something, but we kind of said we should make it like a trio, because there's always going to be a variety of opinions, of approaches, of personalities, and everything. And oddly enough, the both of us were talking in parallel with Chris about something totally different things. I was chatting with Chris most about Pro Jam, because he also really into them. Yeah, he and his wife, I think they've been to a ton of concerts. I've been to some, but not so many. But I have some decent knowledge of their catalog and everything. I'm always talking about it, and then me and Mike, so who's the third? And then we both came up with the same name by coincidence. And then
the same person? You guys are both thinking of the same guy?
Yeah, that was Chris. And then we just thought, we started chatting and putting together. And then I think that our first video we did was one of those vinyl tags, I think 2022 or something. There was like 30 questions or something. That video was pretty long, but that was how it started. And then I would just ask everybody to like and subscribe, and that's how it started. And then we broke 1,000, 2, 3, 4. I think we're about to break 5,000 now. A couple
Very
more,
nice.
which for a niche, and then something like this is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, now you guys are sort of the go-to, for jazz talk, and you're right. It's like not only it's a niche within a niche, right? It's kind of like vinyl records and then jazz, right? It's like a very small niche. So
exactly,
that's cool, dude. And I know your guys' Discord is going strong too. And this isn't. Don't take this the wrong way. It's just I get a little intimidated. I pop in there and there's just so much I don't even know where to start. I'm like, man, this is like a whole another world coming into the Discord.
Yeah, I like the Discord. I mean, I think it was Mike's idea, because the Discords are getting popular, and I was like, dude, I don't want to have to manage one more thing, people like killing each other and discussing. But it turned out to be, I don't think we had like one issue, I think, once. And never, people behave super well. Every time there's a request, oh sure, let's open a thread for talking about this, and then we have everything there, like the garden, birds, and records, CDs, reel to reel, a general discussion, new releases, reissues, new bands, whatever you pick, food and booze, whatever. Like, if you want to talk about something, you're gonna find someone there.
Right.
You know.
How did you guys come up with the name? I know it's kind of maybe a silly question, but I mean the Jazz Bumps. How was that inspired?
I have no recollection.
You know, we're three bums, like we're the Jazz Bums. You know,
Probably something like this, because I think it was either for sure it was my micro-quiz. It was not me. I think because that was the premise, and I think that's what's been working to this day. I mean, no matter how more like understand or know something, I think the whole idea was like, guys, we're no experts. We don't want to be like no more than anybody else. Let's just have a good time and chat about what we like, without being, the jazz knob or something like this, because there is this, kind of label, right? And but then no, we just wanted to be fun, and then they're very unassuming, very low key about it. So yeah, I think probably was that Mike. I think came with the bumps thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a great name. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like once you get familiar, it's like Coke or Pepsi. It's like, Jazz Bums. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can't.
Yeah,
it has to be the Jazz Bums.
Absolutely.
So you guys do a lot of interviews, and one of the things I think that's cool about, you do so much different kinds of content. I mean, talking about music, showing records, reissue series, all that stuff. But another really cool sort of feature about your channel is all the interviews that you guys do and people you talk about. For people that haven't seen that stuff and are maybe curious, who are some of the big notable guests that you've had on there? I know Fremer is one. I know you had some other big names on there.
Yeah, I think more recently, we just have Steve Gutenberg, the autophiliac, which is someone that I followed the guy for like 20 plus years, and I always wanted to have the chance to talk with him and pick his mind on so many subjects. That was fun. He's a really fun guy. Of course, our very first one was with Joe Harley, which first time, okay, guys, so let's talk to Joe Harley, but let's send an email and see what happens. And then he was very cool to us, and then. Yeah, I mean, so many owners of labels, right? People from Impacts. I thought a great interview was with Shutin, the piano player from Mongolia. She has an amazing album. She's recording a second one. Also talking to Anthony Wilson, such an accomplished musician, like chatting with us. I think was super awesome as well. And Zev, I mean, his interviews are great because we mostly talk Record Store Day, but off camera, we just learned so much from him. Yeah, a lot of people, and the record shop owners, Michael the Ingroove, Dylan, Noble Records. It was really cool chatting with them as well. It's been, those guests are really, really fun to talk to, and many others. And we're like working on getting more for 2025. We're just trying to slow down because we're just recording. We usually record those videos on Saturday mornings. We try to do around 11, 12 o'clock because nobody's working, everything is silent, everybody can just focus and relax.
Yeah.
So sometimes, weekends don't work for everybody, so we have to, but usually that's what we do. So we were on like last year, we were doing like almost weekly recording. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, staying busy. I know it's great content. I mean, it's really cool to see, a lot of people, like you said, they're sort of on YouTube and stuff doing their thing. And it's kind of see them do a sit down and kind of do a informal conversation with those guys, kind of get to know them better. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited for Fremer. And I want to know what this series is that's coming out.
That was fun. He told some more stories too. He talked about the series. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
And he's cool. And he's, I mean, he's very accessible. I mean, he's very accessible. He replies, he engages in conversation, no matter who it is. And, definitely.
Yeah. I asked the people in the chat to ask some questions, and we'll get to those. Guys, Your questions are coming. I got a couple more for you. I don't think we ever talked about this, but it's going to lead into another question I have for you.
Sure.
And it's sort of where 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 did this kind of all start with you, with jazz, with vinyl? Because I'm always kind of curious. Part of the reason I'm asking this question is because I know you, and we're going to get into it. You like a lot of the new stuff. You've introduced me to stuff.
Hmm.
You know a lot about more contemporary jazz, which is unusual. A lot of people are going to know more about the Blue
Yeah.
Note reissues and all that stuff. But
Hmm.
so how did this start for you? Where did this all kind of come together? I'm always curious, like that intersection between like life and music, because for me it's a lot of nostalgia. Like the reason why I listen to a lot
Right.
of older stuff is because I feel
Hmm.
some kind of way about my history and how that stuff, things that were
Yeah.
going in my life during that time.
Hmm.
Is that similar for you, or what is it more
Oh yeah.
academic for you? What is it like? What is it about music and jazz that kind of got you into it?
Yeah. I think it's a great question, Jason. I think that it's something that works this way for everybody. Our brains, right? I mean, every time you go back to something that you don't listen to very often, and then pull it from your shelf, you're gonna remember a moment associated with a person, a smell, a place. It's just so amazing how this can activate our memories, right?
Yep.
There's even like many interesting books about how music plays our brains. But for me, started I think very early. I was like 5, 6. I always like to listen to my parents' records or go to my friends' places. They had records, and I was fascinated by the way that a piece of plastic would generate sound, and it was so cool. The covers. I started mostly buying 7 inches and tapes because that's what I could afford.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like 10ish or so, and then it
What
just
kind of
kept.
stuff are you listening to at that time?
I mean, when you're a kid, you listen to like pop music mostly, and then the late 80s there was a lot of there was the hair metal stuff, but it wasn't popular there. I mean, mostly among kids, so there was like more like electronic music from the 80s. That was pretty cool. And then I think I started getting more into rock. I mean, there's a lot of local Brazilian rock bands that I listen to. A lot of them, they're still very dear to me, and I still kept everything from those days. And I think it was like around 1989, I got into contact with stuff like Guns N' Roses, for example. I think first time I listened to Appetite for Destruction, was like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. So, and then from there you start pulling. I mean, you didn't have internet, so you would read magazines, read and reread and read. So they were mentioning other things, and but of course I couldn't just go to a shop and buy because there was barely anything to find there. So pray that someone has some tape, someone that knows someone, and then that's it. And I think that's very cool. You get together with your friends. One of us has a record because that's what you can afford. So everybody gets together, and I think that was very nice way to also engage, create friendship, develop bonds, and chat with your friends. I mean, that was a really good like community aspect, and which I think is kind of a little bit lost nowadays. This sense of friendship, partnership, belonging, sharing.
Yep.
And then I kept going. I kept increasing my collection. Then I didn't just go through all this rock stuff. And then mid '90s, I was probably high school. That was when like I remember that Miles Davis died, and then the whole thing came back. That was like in '91. I remember it was like Miles Davis, not so far from Freddie Mercury. They died around the same time.
Mm.
And there was so much about Miles, and I started listening to his stuff, and then from there, then I when I went to college, I went to a bigger city. There were better stores, and then I started going to the CD sections and buying stuff. There was a great late '90s, early 2000s was the time that Columbia was doing their legacy series on CDs with extra tracks. And
Yeah.
that was I bought a lot of those, and the Miles box sets came, and then I got into Coltrane, and then I just kept one. It's like a thread because I keep pulling. So, and that was the 2000. And I still had kept all my records from my childhood, my teenage years, and yeah, it was something that was from those days. I associated with memories. I would, yeah, say that's part of who I am. I'm not getting rid of this just because it takes space or looks ugly or whatever. It's part of me. I'm gonna keep it. And then I moved overseas. I moved my collection slowly here, and then here I started. Getting records was easier to get records here, of course, than getting in Brazil. At this point, I had a decent, good collection of Brazilian records with me. And then I started buying more stuff here, just buying more. And then in the 2010s, I was buying new releases as they were coming on vinyl. Not from reissues, but current bands that I was buying from those days, like simple stuff like Off Montreal, Best Coast, Arcade Fire, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Which I still like it a lot. And but I think from the 2000s and on, probably the White Stripes were the biggest impact to me. But I absolutely love the White Stripes.
I was gonna, part of my next question was going to be, did you hang on to all that stuff? And you said you did. So you traveled with it. You didn't get rid of your records.
I did, because I think that's very recent. This thing about what pressing this is. You never care. I wanna have the record and know deeply the record. I don't care what's
what pressing it is, or
yeah, no, I don't. That doesn't make a difference, because a lot of people have beautiful trophies in their shelves, but they have no idea what this is about.
Yeah, well, that's. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think I shouldn't assume. Do you have a lot of early jazz, like originals and stuff like that? And if so, did you acquire any of that stuff when prices were a lot cheaper than they are now?
No, I started buying those early pressings about like 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
Back then prices were already kind of going up. So, and I have my tactics for like searching for a good deal. I think I do like what Chance usually says that he does. I set up a price I'm willing to pay, and whenever it shows up, I'll do it, But I just don't run on getting things just because, oh, it's cool to have, let's go buy it. No, I think I am more refined in a way that, more focused, I would say.
More curated.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But still, most of the Blue Notes, I like to have an original and the best sounding pressing, which probably is going to be like a Music Matters or a Tone Poet. And I can attest, playing on my cross, all these issues, they destroyed the original. There's not even comparison. Yeah.
Do you want to answer a couple questions? Let's see. We got some people
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
I know Cesar had a question. Let me see. Can you see the chat?
Yes, I opened a tab here. Yes.
So I'm scrolling for you, Cesar. What was the one you mentioned? Because now we got a lot of stuff in there. Let's see. Which does Felipe find more relaxing, listening to jazz or gardening? Says Breakfast King.
I usually play something, open the window, but usually.
Oh, so you do both.
When I'm outside, I'm gonna post like lo-fi possible. I just put I just start streaming something, and I put like the phone against the windowsill.
Oh, really?
Next to the grass, and I start digging, doing stuff there. But I usually, when I'm outside now, I don't listen to jazz. I need some.
Mix it up a little.
Yeah, I need some Green Day stuff like this, or the White Stripes.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You don't just listen to jazz. You mean you like other music too?
Yes. I mean, from early age, as I was saying, I used to read. I still read music magazines. I go to Barnes and Noble and buy my UK press, because the American music press kind of sucks these days. So magazines like Record Collector, Mojo, Uncut, they're terrific. And if you read them and pay attention, they have like 1/3 of the magazines every month is like about new releases. So
yeah,
there's just so much to be discovered. So I usually read, I skim, I mark some that I'm interested. I stream, and some of them I buy CDs, some of them I buy downloads, some of them I buy records. I think having a good CD library is great. You can just burn in, put in rip, set up a nice room server at home, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I do digital a lot. I do digital a lot
Very
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah, I'm similar. Like, if I'm in this room and I'm hanging out, I want to listen to the vinyl. Yeah, I'm here listening to it. But the rest of my life is listening to it probably digitally, whether it's on my computer upstairs working or on my
Mhm.
phone or in the car. So special occasions, break out the
Mhm.
records. What
Yeah,
about Cesar was asking about, and I'm probably going to get this pronunciation wrong, but do you see the question about Ronaldinho or Ronaldo, both Brazilians?
I think yeah. So says I'll go with Ronaldo. Ronaldo, phenomenal. There's nobody like him. Nobody like him. He had, after I wouldn't say he's after Pelé, but he's at the same level Maradona. Perhaps better because he won more. The guy had like a less than 10-year long career, and he won 2 cups. He was just like the best of the best and everything, and his style was nobody can do that. Nobody can do that.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah, yeah.
You heard it here. All right. So what about OJC's is asking, you always have great jazz recommendations.
Mhm.
Anything recent that you've added that you want to recommend?
Yeah, I picked some books recently. So there's one that's recent from last year, I believe, or maybe a year before. The Sun Ra biography that
Oh
came out
yeah.
is really good. It's really good. Highly recommend reading the Sun Ra biography. What else? The Cecil Taylor biography that came out last year. Really worth checking as well because it was very highly researched. The book is by Phil Freeman, has one of the best Substacks columns about jazz and music in general. It's called Burning Ambulance. I highly recommend people go check Burning Ambulance. That's the name of his page. And what else? And I'm really digging. I'm reading now Nico Kay's biography. That's autobiography. It's really cool. Nico Kay is just, very important, long career country Americana singer. She's also a part of the quote unquote supergroup, the New Pornographers, which I absolutely love as well. Her autobiography is really good. It just came out, and I just got a. It's old, but I just got a biography of Jackie McLean, which is I'm about to start as well.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that you
I
like
can share
some.
those on Friday. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say I'm glad you like the Sun Ra book because I've seen that. I haven't picked it up, but
It is good. It is good.
your
It's really well researched, well written. It flows. It goes really good. It goes really good, and you learn a lot about details.
nice.
That helped me a lot to make the Sun Records video.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, he
No,
has such a vast life, right? And just if you just
Mhm.
focused on the music, it would be
Yeah,
1,000-page book, let alone all the other stuff that he had going on. So that's really cool.
exactly.
Well,
Also, yeah.
one of the things I thought maybe we could do just for a few minutes would
Mhm,
be, and then we'll jump into the game, is again going back to the fact that you listen to a lot of new jazz coming out.
mhm.
And there's been some great stuff. Blue Note has been issuing stuff. And I got
Yeah,
to see last year, I think I maybe mentioned it here, was I saw the Blue Note Quintet in Portland, and it was phenomenal. It was so freaking good.
yeah.
Kendrick Scott on drums blew me away.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, but you really follow this stuff, and so I thought maybe show us
I
some
follow.
contemporary jazz records.
Yeah, it has some cool stuff that came out either this year or late last year. So this record came out last Friday. It's by Ambrose Akimoshir. Let me try to take the plastic out here, because
I'm gonna do this so that way we can see it better.
yeah, here it is. Ambrose is a trumpet player. He started his career on Blue Note. This record is on Nonsuch, which who's there. The Black Keys on Nonsuch as well. They have really stuff beautiful. This is a tribute to Julius Eastman. So there's a lot of jazz mixed with classical. There's a lot of space here. So there's a string quartet playing with him, and there's a rapper here, Kokai. It's really interesting because he raps, but like almost like singing notes. It's almost like an instrument. The guy rapping. This record is absolutely It's probably going to make it to my list of the best of 2025.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, this is amazing, amazing artwork. And guess what? There's not a vinyl edition of this record. Okay. For
No.
the for the simple reason there's a 29-minute song here.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That is the one thing. That is the one thing about Wax.
And I think it's funny. I always make this joke. I think it's funny people complain, oh, I don't like 45s because it breaks the flow of the record. So you should never listen to a live record on vinyl. You have to get a CD
Right.
because the vinyl break the flow of the record. Anyways, this record, this is the second release by this super band here. It came on Crisscross early January, I think the first week. So Brad Meldau, Mark Turner, Peter Bernstein, MTB. This record is called Solid Jackson with guest appearances by Larry Grenadier and Bill Stewart.
Solid Jackson. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Solid Jackson. That's their second release. The first one came out a few years ago. Was actually a Record Store Day release. This record rocks. This is absolute fire. Came on Crisscross. You can buy that on vinyl as well. Okay.
What kind of music is that?
It's modern jazz. It's not like, but it's very structured, very, and it has one of my favorite musicians, contemporary on bass, Larry Grenadier. Larry Grenadier, he's also on last year's, oh my gosh, Charles Lloyd record, which is also one of the top of the year. So Larry Grenadier, great bass player. Anything with him, I buy because I know I'm gonna like. So this came on Crisscross, European label. You can also find that on vinyl as well.
Very nice.
One more record from 2023, which was my number one for 24, sorry. Alina Beshinska and Tony Coffey, Altera Vita. This came on BBE in the UK.
Alini, how do you pronounce it?
Alina Beshinska.
Oh, gotcha.
And Tony Coffey. It's harp and saxophone. Of course, it's a heavy, it's a tribute to Pharoah Sanders, pretty much.
Oh, cool.
Yes, and of course they overdub drums and has guest appearance by Muriel Grossman in one of the tracks. That was my number one record of 2024, and you can even find that on Amazon. Do yourself a favor and buy this record.
Very cool.
Would
you, before you end, will you show that first one again? We have people that want just kind of say the title again of that first one.
Yeah. Ambrosia Kimosir. It's called Honey from a Winter Stone.
Honey from a Winter Stone. Okay, got it.
Yes. And he also has a 2023 album called The Owl Song, is a trio of Bill Frisell, which is also phenomenal.
Very cool.
Yeah. Just one more that I picked this year, which is also very good. This record, unfortunately, is going to be hard to find. Okay. It's sold out pretty quick, but it's from a great label in Estonia that I really like called RR Gems. They release a great amount of new music, European artists, American artists, on a more, I wouldn't say like freer style, but it's different. It's a very unique sound. It's very easy to follow. It's not hard music, but it's very relaxed and loose. A lot of different array of types and percussions and the wind instruments. So this is Ad Hoc by the Organic Pulse Ensemble. The ensemble is just one guy. Okay. It's just this one guy here. He records and writes everything.
Whoa, okay.
And this is cool. This is a limited edition, it's like 200 only. I think there will be a regular black edition. You can find that on Dusty Groove, I think on pre-sale. I don't know how many they're going to have. Okay. And the cool thing is that this is a silk screen. So every single copy has a different color. So this cover is like old record. You just crack the seam, flip it backwards and inside out. And then he prints screens on so you can feel the texture. It's super cool.
That's cool.
And anything by this guy, look for Organic Pulse Ensemble. Some of these records are easy to find. But
Organic Pulse Ensemble Ad Hoc. Very cool.
This guy is amazing. Yeah. This is just some of the stuff that I picked recently, and I think what I think about modern music in a sense is I think we're in a point in time where people are not just being referenced to the past and trying to emulate that, recreate that, re-record that, which I think 80s was a little bit like this, most of the 90s, and I think starting the 2000s things got a little loose and more creative. I think there's a great deal of great music coming from Europe mostly. I think people are less bound to tradition and more experimental. I see a lot of harp coming these days. I think the vibes are coming back big time too. So it's very open. And I think one thing I frequently hear from people, oh, it's hard to follow the drums because the drums are not doing anything, right? They're not. But funny, I was reading about Cecil Taylor a few weeks ago, and Sonny Murray, the drummer that played with him, right, early in his career. Sonny Murray said that in the 60s. Oh, people don't understand we're doing the drumming now. And still can do great, you know. I find it interesting. But I think it's just let yourself go, try, you know. Because the greats of today, they were kind of neglected at their time. So, you know, it's easy to always look at the past and say it's better, but I think every generation does that. I think it's normal, right?
That's good to hear because we really do live in a generation where it seems like we're stuck in the 80s in a lot of ways. If you even music that's coming, like even like hip hop music and stuff like that is doing a lot of the same sampling that we were doing, you know, in the 80s and 90s. And all you have to do is walk into the toy aisle at Target and you'll see all of the stuff that we grew up with. It's Star Wars and it's, you know, Ninja Turtles and all. So it's a small sample, but it's like, it just seems like it is more and more difficult. You know, you hear the comment like, well, everything's been done, nothing's original. Well, I think Cecil Taylor probably heard that same thing, and yet he was able to break away. Eric Dolphy and these guys. So it's cool that there are people today that are discovering that and really kind of breaking out of that mold.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot to discover. There's a lot of great new approaches. I think, and musicians these days have a way better academic and technical background than the musicians from the 40s, 50s, 60s, like it or not, but it's true.
Yeah.
So I think those people are, plus the technological advance. So I think there's a lot of stuff playing on the favor to break new grounds. I think that's very welcome thing, you know. Very welcome, and I love it. I think there's always discovery. Every week there's great new stuff being released every Friday, every Tuesday, whenever. But there is.
Very cool. Well, Cesar has one more question. He's got to know, what about the biography of Soda Stereo, Felipe? You familiar with that one?
No, Cesar. No.
Sorry, Cesar. Well, you up for a little game? We'll try to jam through this. It's going to be, all it is going to be, it's barely a game. It's just, we're going to go through the classic series and we'll just go through in chronological order. You're going to have to pick between two records, the one you like best. And by the time we get to the end, we'll crown the classic series 2025 winner. You know, we're going to call it your favorite. This is the one that Felipe recommends over all other classic series. Let me bring it up here.
I don't even remember the list.
Did you guys do a video on this, on the release?
No, there was something that kind of kept us from making that video, and then when we kind of had the time, it was too late.
Gotcha. Yeah, Chris and I did the Tell Poet series, and then we didn't get to the classic series either for whatever reason. Okay, so here's the first two. We're just going to go through. This is January. So we got Art Blakey with Love, Like Someone in Love, 1960. Then we got Freddie Hubbard's Here to Stay with Wayne Shorter, Billy Joe Jones. So what do you think? What are you taking out of these two?
It's pretty much the same band, right? Almost the same band.
Same era almost.
Yeah, of course not the drumming. But I think I'll stay with the Art Blakey. Usually I would prefer a Freddie Hubbard record, but I think this Art Blakey is special. It's one of his best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. This is one of the best Art Blakey. And Art Blakey has so prolific, right? So, you know, it's sometimes difficult to know where to start. So there's a recommendation right there, Like Someone in Love. And that one is out. This one came out in January. So All right, so we're going to introduce our first February record. So you picked Like Someone to Love. Now we're going up against Sonny Rollins. That's Volume 1 from 1956.
I will stick there at Blakey. He's a good Sonny Rollins, but it's not at his best.
What do you think between Volume 1 and Volume 2? Are you a Volume 2 guy?
I like Volume 2 better, yes.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. Okay, now we're going up against Dexter Gordon, Our Man in Paris, also coming out later this month, 1963.
Oh, that's easy. I love Our Man in Paris.
Bud Powell on piano here. That is so cool. Kenny Clark.
Yeah, so yeah, Pierre Michelot and Kenny Clark were a trio that Bud Powell used to play with. Has a couple records on Verve, if I'm not mistaken, from the late 50s with those guys. Not Pierre Michelot, but Kenny Clark. And Pierre Michelot, that was his trio when he was living in Paris, playing at the Blue Note.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Boom, Dexter Gordon right there. Okay, now we're going up against Horace Silver, Serenade to a Soul Sister. This is 1968.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like this one, but no, Dexter, it's a more solid record for sure.
Stick with the Dexter on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Lou Donaldson, Say It Loud, 1968.
Yeah, again, it's a late 60s cover style, more like in the Liberty era. I would stick with Dexter.
Okay, staying with Dexter. And Bud. Oh, Tony Williams. I love Tony Williams. Here we go. This is one I'm not familiar with. This is Civilization, 1986. How much do you know about this?
This is 80s. I mean, I don't have this record, but I know it because I stream it a few times. I might have it on my server. It's good, but Tony Williams at some points also he can be a little too much, right?
Yeah.
But no, but it's good. I like him. I like his records as well. It's just that that Dexter record is special.
Yeah. I've heard some great later Tony stuff, but it's kind of hit or miss. It's like it's hard to find one album that's got just fire all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay, Dexter Gordon, Our Man in Paris. We're gonna go now to Don Pullen, New Beginnings. Again, another later record. This one's 1988.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you're talking Tony Williams. I was going to say the Don Pullen record has Tony Williams, and it just came with Don Pullen.
Yep.
For the ones that are not familiar, Don Pullen, it's an amazing pianist, and he's one of the main influences for. If you watch our interview, Ray Angry, from JMI, from The Roots, Don Pullen is one of the main influences for him. And, and let's be a little bold here. I'll stick with the Don Pullen record.
Oh, he's going Don Pullen. All right. Sorry, Dexter. Yeah. Here we go with Tony Williams and Gary Peacock on that one. Okay, now we're going up against Hank Mobley, Roll Call. I showed this one earlier. I have this. This is one of the only a few Music Matters pressings I have. It sounds phenomenal.
It is. Oh, for sure.
Here it is on the Classic Series.
Yeah. No, I like Roll Call too, but Roll Call is not my favorite Hank Mobley.
Yep.
I like side 2 better than side 1.
Okay. And we got Art Blakey, Freddie Hubbard, Whitney Kelly, and Paul Chambers on there. So a nice lineup. But yeah, Hank Mobley is definitely one of those guys where you got to catch him in top form, right?
Yeah, and I don't like the opening track, to be honest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I think the record gets much better after but I mean, it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I will still stay with Don Pullen for a reason, because it's not my favorite Hank Mobley, and I think because the Don Pullen record is great, and it's going to be a great discovery for people.
Ooh, yeah. Nice. Breakfast King of Loyola right with you on the Don Pullen, says it's fire. Okay, now we're going against Stanley Turrentine, Look Out. So we got Horace Parlan, George Tucker, Al Harewood on this one.
That's a great one. There's a great Music Matters edition on that one. I have an original of this. It's beautiful record. I really like Stanley Turrentine. Yeah, and he's playing. It's not his only record. I think he has another record with the Horace Parlan Trio. I can't remember which one, but he's also in a record, another one by the Horace Parlan Trio. Again, for discovery, I think that Don Pullen, because I love Gary Peacock. Gary Peacock is a great innovator. He's a great bass player. One of
Yeah.
my favorite Bill Evans records is the only one he recorded with Gary Peacock, which is Bill Evans 64, which is really worth checking.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Because I was making the comment to Chris just how tight Bill Evans bass players always are, man. They're just always, even these new releases they're doing Record Store Day and stuff, and it's
oh
like
yeah.
you just can't go wrong. He's
Mhm.
traveling overseas with these, I've never heard of these guys, but somehow they're just in the pocket with Bill Evans. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Gary's great. He's an innovator. He's more like experimental, adventurous in a sense. So I really like his approach. And with Don Paul, if have you listened to this record yet?
I have not listened to this.
Try it out.
All right.
I'll stick with Don Paul.
I'm checking it out first thing as soon as we hang up. All right, he's sticking with Don Pullen. Okay. Whew, sorry, still trying to get over this cough. Babyface Willette. We got a Babyface Willette sighting here. This is Stop and Listen. Grant Green on guitar, Ben Dixon on drums.
That's the second release they're doing of a Babyface Willette. There's another one as a Tom Poe. It's a very early Tom Poet, the Face to Face, which is great. I like it. I think it's hard to find this record in a good condition for a good price. So people take advantage of getting this. It's a great release. But still, I think the Don Pauling record is more interesting than the Babyface Willette.
I love it. All right, sticking with the Don Pullen. All right, Down to Earth, Freddie Roach on the organ. I'm trying to read who else is on here. I'm not familiar with this one, so to be honest, Percy. Oh my God, Kenny Burrell. Oh, Kenny Burrell's on here. Okay, on guitar.
Yeah.
So Down to Earth, Freddie Roach.
Yeah, it's another rare record to find. Classic organ guitar type of record. I like something more modern, more adventurous, and a very different, unique piano playing style by Don Pauling.
There we go, Don Pauling.
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
Okay, then we got a Donald Byrd, another Donald Byrd. I love that the Donald Byrd's getting love recently. We got, I think he's getting a Tone Poet too, or maybe it already came out. But Donald Byrd, Stepping Into Tomorrow, 1974.
It is a great record. I mean, it's a 70s Mizo style Blue Note Donald Byrd, but I think he's such a genius. I mean, he always knew how to look ahead, and although these records don't get so much love, he was one of the few jazz musicians that actually went to school to get an education because, thinking about, I want to expand my mind, I want to, perhaps do something else if I don't get to be a musician anymore. I want to work in music education. So, and he was also visionary, and I think he was always in a good direction. But I think still, Don Pauling brings more new elements to the table for the casual listener. They're just buying the Hank Mobleys and the Art Blakey's of the of the world. I think they deserve to be exposed to this kind of music.
Oh, okay, Don Pauling.
Yeah.
All right, so then we got Eddie Henderson, Heritage, 1976. Again, not one I'm really familiar with on that.
Yeah, I know this record superficially. I don't know this record very well. So that's a hard choice now. But I'm still staying with a more modern approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don Pauling.
Although it doesn't sound that modern these days, but compared to most of the output, yes.
Right.
It's good that they're bringing that stuff back. The 80s catalog of Blue Note.
All right, we got a Wayne Shorter here. This is The Soothsayer, 1965. James Spaulding, Freddie Hubbard, McCoy Tyner, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. I mean, killer lineup.
Oh yeah, it is a great Wayne Shorter record. I have the first edition, which was an LT, one of those ugly white covers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like a metallic plate reflecting the sun or something. It's pretty ugly. But it's a beautiful record. It's a beautiful Wayne Shorter. I would have picked this one as something more like early 70s Wayne Shorter. That's what I've been listening to the most now. Records like Supernova, Mato Grosso Feio, Odyssey of Visca. I think that's some of the greatest genius of Wayne Shorter. And I think when you listen to that type of music, you're going to see that in modern music. I think the modern music has a very Wayne Shorter 70s style. I feel the openness, the contemplation, meditative side. So Let's say for now, I
This
am
is a
gonna
tough
go.
one.
Yeah. But again, Soothsayer, you're gonna get a little bit more of the same that you use from the 60s, you know?
Gotcha.
So yeah, again, if all the 70s Wayne Short, I'll have picked the 70s Wayne Short. So I'll stick with Don Pulling for now.
All right, Don Paulin. Whew,
Yeah.
he's riding a wave. Here we go. Okay, Lee Morgan now, the procrastinator with Ron Carter, Wayne Shorter, Herbie. Herbie siding here. Not a lot of Herbie this year, huh? But we got Herbie here. We
No.
got Billy
Yeah.
Higgins and we got Bobby Hutcherson, my guy.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
by.
Yeah. There's a bunch of covers. The Music Matters use a different cover. This is the same cover that from the CD. And there's also one of those Blue Note classics, those twofers with the procrastinator as well.
Okay.
Which yeah, I have that in the CD. It's beautiful, beautiful Lee Morgan. But again, I'm gonna stick with the Don't Pull Him
Okay.
because what you get there, you already got many times before.
Yep. You know what? Yeah, you said a mouthful. I make that argument a lot. It's kind of like this is a great record, but it's not different from stuff I already have it 3 or 4 times, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Sonny Clark, Sonny's Crib with Donald Byrd, Curtis Fuller, Coltrane, Paul Chambers, and Art Taylor from 1957.
Yeah, this is a great session right there. Beautiful Sonny Clark record. I think it's hard. It's not a matter of liking one better than the other,
Right.
you know. Yeah, but Sonny's Crib is classic Blue Note. Sonny's Crib is classic Blue Note. I think I will pick Sonny's Crib this time.
Oh, goodbye, Don Poland.
I think that was the first Curtis Fuller recording, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? Okay.
Was it this one or I think it was this one. I might be wrong, but it was very early. He was very young. He was very young then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just edging out Don Poland. I got to remember that. I'm going to remember Don Poland, even though he's going away now. I'm still going to listen to that record.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can stream that. You can get the CD, and you know. I'm sorry, Paul. It was more like a historical thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now we got Sonny's Crib going up against Freddie. We got Shades of Red, Freddie Red Quintet.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jackie McLean on here. You got Tyner Brooks, Paul Chambers, and Louis Hayes this time on drums.
Yeah, pretty like young guys, right? Jackie McLean and Tyner Brooks these days. That is how the Freddie record is amazing. Do you know this one, Jason?
I'll be honest, I don't know this one, but I'm excited for it now that I'm seeing the lineup.
No, it's a great one. So I'm gonna pick Shades of Red.
Ooh.
People need to be exposed to that. Sonny's Crib is more like well known.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Shades of Red. Oh, here we go. So it's another one, pretty well known, right? Grant Green, solid here.
Yeah, no, it's a great one too. There's a Music Matters they did with a different cover. It was like a green cover, and it's like puffing some smoke, so it's all cloudy in the cover. And the original is also an LT. There's like a pool table on the cover. Shades of Red. Although Solid is very good, but Shades of Red.
Solid, yeah. With just quickly on the personnel, this has got James Spaulding, Joe Henderson, McCoy Tyner, Bob Cranshaw on bass, Elvin Jones on drums.
Yeah, it's a very interesting record. It's very energetic. I think Elvin Jones, does that nice touch in there.
But we're going the Shades of Red. All right. Oh, another. See, here we go. Elvin Jones front and center. This came out. I think 75th put this out, if I'm not mistaken. But it's nice that we're getting
yeah, Music Matters too. It is great. This Putting Together is a great record. I think he had just left Coltrane, was about to leave. Not sure.
Is this his first Blue Note? I know this is one of either first or second, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that was his first Blue Note. And it's great. It's great. But again, it's not hard to find. It's more like known. I think I'll still stick with the Freddie Red Quintet.
Freddie Red. Then we got Andrew Hill, Judgment, 1964. Bobby Hutcherson. Oops, camera.
Ah,
Okay.
all right. Yeah, Judgment is a classic. I even have a T-shirt of Judgment. Yeah,
Oh, really? That's cool. It's
Yeah.
got a great cover.
yeah, it is. It's yeah.
Andrew Hill also getting a tone poet this year, if I'm not mistaken.
hmm
At least one.
Yeah. No, this is a great. Judgment is probably maybe his best. It's a great record.
Bobby Hutcherson on vibes, Richard Davis on bass. Wow! So right there, you got two guys from Out to Lunch right there, and then you got Elvin on drums. Wow! What a lineup!
Yeah, no, this is terrific. This is amazing.
A tough one.
So yeah, pick Judgment.
Oh, Judgment. All right, jumping in there. Oh, okay. So One Step Beyond, Jackie McLean. Before you came on, I pulled out the 3 Jackie McLeans that have Bobby Hutcherson on them that are all great. This is one of them.
Yeah.
1963. One
This
Step
is
Beyond.
Yeah, this is great. I think the title says everything. That's a record that Jackie McLean was kind of starting to break with tradition, be more adventurous. It's a record that has a really good sound quality. For the ones that don't know, I'm going to stick with Andrew Hill Judgment, but One Step Beyond is a must-have record. I think it's a fork in the road for Jackie McLean.
Yeah, Jackie's really someone that you can hear his development, like his early stuff with like Miles, where he did. I think they did a dig together. That was maybe his first, if not mistaken, maybe his first time on record or very early.
Yeah.
And then
Jackie McLean is an interesting guy because he was always present in every important movement in jazz throughout his whole career, but he never took like a leading role in any of them. If you stop to think, he was always present. He always contributed. He pointed music in different directions, not as sharply as Miles did, but at his own way. But he's a guy that it was never like a star. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to say it. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. But he was present in every single important new movement direction in music for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Very well said.
Yeah. I will stick with Judgment.
All right.
Because I think it's
Ooh, I love Jimmy Smith.
This is one of his best, yeah.
We got Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, big band, right? Lou Donaldson, George Coleman, Tina Brooks, Kenny Burrell, Eddie McFadden, Art Blakey, and Donald Bailey.
Yeah, it's a beautiful record. House Party and The Sermon are my favorite ones. It's pretty much quite similar lineups.
Right.
Those people, they don't overlap in all tracks. I mean, there's spread through the sessions. That's why it's called House Party. People going in, going out, and all that stuff. But it's amazing. And I think if you're not too sure about Jimmy Smith, get this one and The Sermon. You're good to go. But I'll still stick with Judgment by Andrew Hill.
All right, Andrew Hill. Ooh, I showed this one earlier too. I really hyped it up, man. Johnny Griffin, a blowing session.
Which is a rare blue note blowing session, right?
Right. So glad this is getting a classic series. We got all tenors. We got Johnny Griffin, Hank Mobley, Coltrane, Lee Morgan on trumpet, Wynton Kelly on piano, Paul Chambers bass, and Blakey, and they all shine.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful record. Quintessential blue note, 50s blue note. Belongs in everybody's collection.
Yeah.
But I think relevance and everything, I think Judgment still beats it.
All right, Judgment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. We got to the end.
The winner. Yes,
is the winner.
Yeah, there's a couple of great records coming out of the classic series. So this probably number 1, number 2, whatever. I would tell people go for the Don Poland one. Stream it. I think you guys are going to be very happy with it. The Tony Williams one. Art Blakey, Like Someone in Love. There's so much. The Lee Morgan Procrastinator is quite interesting. Lee Morgan dynamics with Bobby Hutcherson. Bobby Hutcherson is very present, very highlighted in that album. I think people are going to enjoy it. It's a great lineup for the classic series, I think.
Yeah, I really liked this year. I thought there was some great stuff, and it's, a lot of it stuff. Sometimes either I have it or I'm very familiar with it. This time it's a mix.
Mhm.
Some of the stuff I'm familiar and I can recommend it, or not. I showed some of it that I already have
Mhm.
in my collection, but then there's stuff on here that I don't have that I'm
Mhm.
excited about. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think what they're doing that's great. I mean, 1500s originals are expensive, but you can still get like this man Japanese box sets, reissues a lot. But stuff from the late 70s and 80s, even if you find on vinyl, it's not going to be the greatest pressing quality, mastering everything. So it's really nice that you can get like a Kevin Gray mastering an 80s record because they actually not that great.
yeah,
So I think it's a blessing, and so don't worry about the old stuff. They're all gonna be there.
yeah.
Get a different, like the Iron Parks that came out last year. That's terrific record.
Well, there you go. Andrew Hill Judgment, guys. We got to wait till November 21st, but I would
Yeah,
definitely put it on the list, man. This is one that you're going
yeah,
to want to snag, and others. I know that just edged out some of this other stuff, including the Don Pull and New Beginnings you mentioned. We're going to get that in
yeah.
April. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited for that.
November 21st. Eat some turkey and listen to Andrew Hill.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Felipe, thank you so much for doing this, man. I appreciate it. It's fun to get to know you a little more. And I told everybody too. I was kind of teasing it that Fridays I'm going to be live. I'm going to go live, at 6 p.m. Central. You guys go live at 7 p.m. Central. We're going to be able to take people right in. They don't even have to lift a finger. They're going to go straight from Spins Vinyl to Jazz Bum. So that's exciting, man. We'll do that on
That's
Friday.
cool, Jason. And you're always welcome to join us anytime you want.
I appreciate that. I
That'll be
appreciate that.
fun. Yes, that'll be
I
fun.
mean, maybe I'll fit in somewhere. I mean, you guys are, your knowledge is way up here. I'm just down here,
There's not important. There's not a requirement. Trust me.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Felipe. Well, thanks so much for joining, man. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon, dude.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Woo, there we go, guys. A Felipe sighting right here on the Spins Vinyl channel. That was exciting, man. Love Felipe. Such a great guy. Super knowledgeable. I love having him talk about jazz, man. Like, going through this list and everything is like having him on your shoulder, to be able to kind of, give us all the facts about this stuff, and his experience with it is just priceless. So, and plus he didn't do a video on his channel. So this was kind of it. This was kind of his 2025 classic series review. So that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. Chris Group Seeker saying Jackie sorely underrated. Absolutely is. And to Felipe's point, he is kind of a guy that he fits in very well with others, but he's not like a Coltrane or a Sonny Rollins or even a Hank Mobley, where he's part of an ensemble. He seems like he doesn't really make an effort to step out, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's great. And when you get him with Bobby Hutcherson, which we will this year, it's exciting. It's always great listening. Shane Vinyl Records, Jason, would love to see you come on Jazz. Yeah, well, thanks, Shane. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been on, we've talked about it in the past. I'm not sure why it hasn't. I don't know. Maybe it's a scheduling thing, but yeah, that would be kind of cool. I'll do a show from here and then switch over to Jazz Bums, for the next couple of hours. So that would be fun. Oh man, trying to keep this cough at bay. Oh, sorry. So sorry, man. You said, do you have that Andrew Hill album? If so, which pressing? Sorry about that. Did not get to that question, but yeah, that was fun, man. We're going to do more of this. We got people lined up for next week as well. And again, once we get some momentum and stuff, the hope is that, we can get some, just a big variety of people on here. Like Felipe said on the Jazz Bums, they're interviewing musicians, engineers, other YouTubers, store owners, and stuff like that. So we'd love to get some of that done here too, and do it live. I think doing it live is fun because, for obvious reasons, you guys get to chime in. You guys have questions, we can get them answered in real time. So thanks for everybody for being here today. I really appreciate it. Drop a like if you can. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave a comment too. All of that stuff is going to really help us out as we're just getting started. And we want to keep this daily thing going, so let's let YouTube know that this is good content out here. Tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Central, Brandon, the Hall of Famer, Mr. Hall of Fame, will be here. We're going to do a co-room tour. I know it sounds crazy. We're going to do a live co-room tour I don't know how this is going to work, but it's going to be interesting and fun. You won't want to miss it. Again, ask the questions, man, because you're going to get to see, you get to see my stuff. You guys have been watching my stuff. I've never really shown kind of, how my records are sorted and the system and all that stuff in detail. So I'll do that tomorrow night. But the big news is Brandon. I mean, he's got the massive collection, the wall records, the grails, the OGs, the posters, so you're going to get to see all that stuff. It's really, really cool in real time. And then Thursday, we will be here for you with the Surface Noise guys. So we'll be here at 8 p.m. Central for that. And then we just saw Felipe. We're going to go live Friday. His Jazz Bum show goes live every Friday. So we're going to come in at 6 p.m. right before he goes live, and we're going to take you right up to the minute that the Jazz Bums start. Cesar, thank you. I needed to hear that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate, man. I appreciate you. Everybody, thanks for being here. Vinyl and Kicks, Groove Seeker, appreciate you. Shane Vinyl, Breakfast King, everybody. Wyoming Dave, as always. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed that. OJC is also in the house. Concert Buddy made an appearance. Appreciate you guys. So we're going to do more of it, and I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.